You know that person, right? The one who is an absolute genius at solving everyone else's problems, but their own life kinda stuck in neutral. Or hey, maybe that person is you. Are you the one on the phone at 3 a.m. masterfully navigating a friend's crisis while your own big goals are just collecting dust? Yeah, let's get into what's really going on with that. I mean, that's a powerful question, isn't it? Because on the surface, it just looks like you're this incredibly selfless, super supportive friend. And you probably are. But what if there's something deeper going on? A real psychological reason for this pattern? Well, today, we're going to dig into the hidden architecture of what we call the chronic fixer. So, right off the bat, here's what's so crucial to get. This isn't just about being a nice person. It's a pattern. It's about using other people's problems, your friend's messy breakup, your coworker's career crisis, as a way to manage what's going on inside you. And before you know it, it becomes this deeply ingrained habit. And I really want to be clear about this. This is not a character flaw. It's not a weakness. It's actually a kind of survival shield. Psychology tells us this is often a protective mechanism. It's a really clever strategy actually called externalized control. It's where your brain finds a way to avoid all the messy, unpredictable work of looking at your own stuff by, you guessed it, focusing on everyone else's. All right, so to really get this, we've got to start with the brain. Because at its core, this whole habit is driven by some pretty basic, fundamental wiring that we all have. I mean, just think about it. When your own career path is a big question mark or your personal life just feels chaotic, your brain is desperate for something it can feel in control of. So fixing someone else's life, it's kind of like compulsively cleaning a super messy room. It gives you this temporary but really powerful feeling of order and stability. And here's the stark contrast, right? Working on your own growth, it's slow, it's messy, it's full of uncertainty, and it is not always comfortable. But fixing someone else's problem, that's a fast, clear, instant win. You give some great advice, they have a little breakthrough, and bam! You feel confident, you feel useful, it's a quick victory. And of course, there's a chemical reason for this. This whole thing creates what you could call a dopamine trap. See, every time you solve one of those external problems, your brain gets a little hit of dopamine. That's the feel-good chemical. It's the exact same kind of instant gratification that makes you scroll on your phone instead of, working on that big long-term project. You basically get hooked on the quick reward of fixing other people. Okay, but it's not just about brain chemistry. That's just one piece of the puzzle. A lot of the time, this pattern has much, much deeper roots. We're talking roots that go all the way back to how we grew up. And this brings us to a really important idea in psychology, the role of the scapegoat child, or sometimes just the helper child. See, a lot of chronic fixers grew up in families where they learned really early on that their worth was tied to how useful they were. Maybe you were the family peacemaker, always smoothing things over. Or maybe you were the super responsible one who just held it all together. You learned a pretty powerful lesson. And that lesson was this. Your worth isn't just a given. It's tied to what you can do for other people. So you learn to fix things, to feel valued, to feel seen, to basically earn your spot. And now, as an adult, that same pattern just keeps playing out. That feeling of being needed, it fills an internal gap, even if it's only for a little while. And here's the really subtle twist. This is a big one. It's also a hidden shield against the fear of your own failure. Think about it. If you're always busy with someone else's drama, you have the perfect excuse not to chase your own dreams. You're not failing, no, you're just being selfless. It's a genius way to keep your own potential safe and untested because you never actually have to risk putting it out there. But hold on, there's one more layer to this whole thing. And this one has to do with your innate personality. For some of us, being a fixer isn't just a habit we learned, it's more like an involuntary reflex. You see, for some people, empathy isn't a choice. It's an involuntary reflex. They're wired to be incredibly aware. They don't just notice when someone is upset. They literally feel it in their own body. They automatically pick up on the slightest shift in someone's tone of voice or their body language. And this leads to something really powerful. It's a phenomenon called emotional contagion. And it means you don't just sympathize with somebody's stress, you actually absorb it. It's like you catch their feelings. So their tension becomes your tension. Their anxiety literally starts buzzing in your nervous system. And this right here is the big aha moment. When this happens, they aren't just trying to help you, they're trying to fix the environment so they can finally stop feeling your pain. Fixing the other person's problem becomes an act of pure self-preservation. It's not just about helping them, it's about making the bad feeling stop inside of you. So let's put it all together. You've got the brain's craving for control, you've got the echoes of your past, and for some, you have this intense burden of empathy. When you combine all three, you can see how this fixer pattern is actually a really powerful protective strategy. But it might be a strategy that has outlived its usefulness. Look, your past might explain exactly why you feel this deep need to be the helper, but it absolutely does not have to define your future. Understanding why you do this is the first, most massive step. These patterns, they were built to keep you safe. But now they might be the very thing holding you back from the life you're supposed to be living. So I want to leave you with this question. What if your greatest project isn't someone else's life? What if all of that incredible energy, all that intelligence, all that deep compassion you pour into other people was turned back towards yourself? What could you build then? Because the truth is, your real life is waiting. It's been patiently waiting for you to turn around and give it the attention it deserves.